Hello, Potato. We've made it through another one. It's the best time of the week, the beginning of Saturday. The weekend lies before us, which means it's time for a little weekend magic. Now, of course, last week I did the No Disney Week, which turned out to also be the No Views Week. So I guess nobody was interested in that, except for me, but hey, I am my primary audience, so that's fine. But we are back to Disney this week, and this week it's going to be pretty much all pins. Actually, I was planning on it being nothing but pins, but then a couple things arrived last night that, frankly, I didn't expect to show up yet. So we'll have a couple keys in here as well. But being as it's pins, it's going to all be kind of small stuff, so rather than focus a lot on the wide view, let's just go straight down into the kind of more close-up view. So I'm going to try and do the pins in the order that they arrived in. We've had some of these for a little while, and they've just kind of been piling up until I figured we had enough to do just a pin video. Let's start with this one. It is the Darkwing Duck 30th Anniversary pin. It's a D23 exclusive item, limited edition of 1,500. And as with all D23 stuff, it took like 2 months to get here. It's been here for about a month, so we ordered it like 3 months ago. And one thing I didn't realize when we ordered it is that the background here, and I don't know how well it shows up, but I think it should, but the background behind Darkwing there is all glittery, which is kind of cool. I thought that was just going to kind of be a solid bluish color from the pictures online, but nope, it's all glittery. It's a double pin back, so he doesn't spin when you put him on something, if you put him on something. I'm probably going to leave him here on his little 30th anniversary card, because why wouldn't I? But it's nice, of course, Darkwing is, I guess, getting a reboot based off of his appearances on the prematurely canceled DuckTales. I'm not sure what Disney's up to with canceling something like that, but oh well, it's their decision, right? And this pin, of course, is in celebration of it being 30 years since Darkwing Duck originally premiered. So if you watched Darkwing Duck when it was on the air as part of Disney Afternoon, you're getting old. I do like about it is I like the outline. It's kind of like a dark silver, almost like a black silver outlining him. You know, a lot of pins have like the gold there or silver. This has a nice kind of dark one. It's still nice and shiny. Shiny's always good, but it's not bright, and it shouldn't be because it's Darkwing Duck, not Brightwing Duck. That's a cute little pin. I'm glad we got it. I don't remember how much it cost because we ordered it quite a while ago. I'm thinking probably somewhere around 20. It seems like the D23 pin sets and pins kind of higher priced than they otherwise would be if it was an open edition, just normal Disney pin. But I guess I figure if you're already sucker enough to spend $100 a year just to belong to D23, you're sucker enough to spend extra for these. Next, we'll look at a couple of pins we picked up actually at the Disney store. They are on the Shop Disney website as well, or at least they were at the time. But we went to the Disney store and they had them there, and I picked out one and my wife picked out one. And we'll start with hers. It's a Winnie the Pooh and Christopher Robin pin that says, "You are smarter than you think, braver than you believe, and stronger than you seem." It's a single pin back. It was $9.99. That's a fairly basic pin. Got a nice little gold outline. In this light in here, I don't know how it shows up on camera, but from my point of view, it almost makes it look like Christopher Robin has no eyes, just because there's like all outline there. So from my view, it looks like just like empty pits where his eyes should be. But it's actually a very cute pin. They had a whole series of these kind of little sayings pins, I believe, at the time. This one, the one I'm going to show you next, and I think a few others that didn't interest either of us. But my wife liked this one, so she picked out this one. I personally preferred this. It's always tea time, because it's never a bad time for a cup of tea. I believe it was also $9.99. Yep, also $9.99, also single pin backed. Got a silver outline on here instead of the gold outline, which I think works better for this anyways. A couple teacups, and of course, the hat size is 10/6. Yep, these are both nice ones. Open edition pins, nothing special about them other than the fact they're just nice pins. Alright, our next two pins, again, one mine, one my wife's, would have been the most recent pins in this video, except for what arrived last night. Look at these. My wife picked out from shopdisney.com. It's a Disney Parks pin. Peace, Love, and Mickey. Bright gold. It almost looks like it could be one of the Pride pins, but it's not, to my knowledge. It's not really rainbowy. This really came wrapped up in like cellophane. It was weird. It didn't have like the little plastic crinkly bags a lot of these pins do. It was kind of like a cello wrapped one. Also $9.99, also open edition, but this is actually a Parks pin, so I don't imagine we would have found it in a Disney store even had we looked for it there. And the card's a little warped, but at least it came shipped in a box, which is better than some things. And then my choice in the same order was this one. The Loki Time Variance. What does the A stand for? I forgot. Time Variance Alliance? Administration? Association? I don't remember. I did know. I knew before I started recording this, and now I've forgotten it. Oh well. This one, honestly, I'm actually a little disappointed in. First of all, though, it's a single pin back, $15.99. It is a limited release pin, which just means that there are as many as they want to make, just like this open edition one. But the reason I say I'm disappointed in it is not because it's low-key and not because of the fact that a lot of the cool stuff is part of the card. It's normally the kind of pin I really like. It's the kind of thing I really like. I like things that shouldn't exist in reality. Like, say, the sword logo pin that I got from WandaVision. But where that was like a very nice, I think, a nice detailed pin, this one just looks kind of cheapy to me. It looks like it's squashed. Like it should be a little more three-dimensional than it is. It's nicely sculpted. It's nicely detailed. It just, something about it doesn't work for me. What does it say on the bottom here? For time always. For all time always. I can read. It is very, very tiny. I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not, but it does say for all time always on there. What it makes me think of is years ago, like one of the first anime conventions I went to, and I bought this fairly cheap cosplay Full Metal Alchemist watch, which, again, it looks nice from a distance, but when you get up close, like the detail just doesn't have the depth you would expect. And that's kind of how I feel about this one. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't dislike the pin. I do like the pin. It just, I don't know, it's not as nice as it looked on the website to me, and it's not as nice as the sword pin from WandaVision. But it is still nice, and I am still looking forward to seeing Loki, which will be, what, another 2 weeks out from this video? It'll, the 16th, I think? So about a week and a half from when this video releases, Loki will be on Disney+, and we can see what it's all about after all. And our last pin today is one thing I didn't expect to be in this video, but it showed up yesterday in the mail. Unfortunately, in a plastic bag wadded up into the mailbox. Frankly, my thought when I opened the mailbox was, oh wow, these are going to be absolutely ruined. But they weren't. It is the It's a Small World 55th anniversary key pin. Thankfully, they decided not to do this one as a blind box. Special edition pin, $12.99, of course the same price as the keys themselves. And of course we didn't just buy just the pin, but we bought the key as well. There we go. Now I think we can see it a little better. So of course the pin and the key are basically copies of each other, and the key itself has all the different ways of saying hello over here. Oh, and goodbye. It looks like hello at the top and goodbye at the bottom. Aloha. Well, I guess aloha is a goodbye too, isn't it? Are they all? I guess it's all goodbye. It's farewell, aloha, adios, farvel. Is that a word? Adios, shalom. And then we have some of the little kids, some very stylized versions of these Small World kids. And very cute. They've turned the Disney castle teeth they always have on the Disney keys into the kind of the facade of It's a Small World, which is nice. And of course it says It's a Small World on it. And of course the key is also limited edition. The key is also, I believe, was $12.99. And these came out like in the UK 2 months ago, I think. Where the ride isn't. And they just finally came out, last Sunday here in the US. And of course we ordered them. And very shockingly, it arrived by Friday. But they're very nice. Honestly, if Shop Disney UK was shipping to the US right now, and they aren't, I may well have bought this from their site instead of waiting for it to show up, because I wasn't sure if it would ever show up on ours. Because, of course, if you ask a question on Facebook at the Shop Disney page, the response they always give you is, keep checking back, which is not a helpful response. But Shop Disney is, run pretty much the opposite of how the rest of Disney seems to be run nowadays. Anyways, they're here now. Now it's going to have that Stitch Key 2-pack actually get released here, and I think we'll be caught up with the rest of the world. And also on Sunday, aside from the It's a Small World keys finally being released, they released one other key, this one a giveaway. It's the key for the new live-action Cruella movie, which I guess you can spend $30 to watch on Disney+, or if you've been vaccinated, you can head out to your local theater when it pops out there. Emma Stone, of course, is playing Cruella de Vil in this one, and I honestly have roughly zero interest in seeing this film. I have roughly zero interest in seeing really any of Disney's live-action remakes, prequels, whatever, at this point. Honestly, if Disney wants to make a live-action remake thing that I would be interested in, remake The Sword and the Stone and cast David Tennant as Merlin. Go back and watch it. If you have Disney Plus, go watch Sword and the Stone and tell me that David Tennant would not be perfect for that character. But anyways, the Cruella Key. This was a free purchase with I think $25, which coincidentally, the Small World key and pin, even with the Disney Visa discount, came to just over $25. I was very surprised that they released them at the same time on the same day. They didn't like hold these till 7 a.m. or something just to make sure that you bought something else if you rushed in there to buy the Small World key, which you didn't need to do because it's still available. What they didn't do at midnight was tell you what code to put in to get this, but real simple, it was Cruella. I got it on the first guess. But against your standard Disney key, we've got the castle, got the D. It's a lot of red, black, and gray, which seem to be the colors they're going for with the whole Cruella thing. Do we have any words in here? We do, it just says not a toy, decorative item only. So I guess, I don't have like a Cruella toy box figure to have wield this as a keyblade. So I guess it'll go back in its little baggie that it came in. This came shipped separately from the Small World key and pin, by the way. Also in just a plastic bag. I don't know why they did that. But yeah, they I guess got my $7 shipping out of this by them having to send it as two different parcels. Because they arrived on the same day, so I had no idea why they were sent separately. But yep, despite being only in a plastic bag, this too also arrived in perfectly decent shape, which is nice. It's not bent, it's not warped. Honestly, I've gotten ones, I think, out of the blind boxes that looked to be in worse condition than this is, and so that's an acceptable thing as far as I'm concerned. Let's take one last look at all of today's items. Oh, this is why these things should be double backed, because see how that's just kind of rolling around in there? That's when I talk about double back versus single back and about it spinning. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is actually a fairly heavy pin, and that single back is not holding it. That's not got a Mickey back on it. That's interesting. It's a Shop Disney pin, but it's not, I guess, not a pin trading pin. I didn't even notice that before. I did notice it till just now. All the rest of these, even the key, is a pin trading pin. This one's not. I wonder if the sword one was or not. I'm gonna have to go look now. I won't say anything in the video if it was or not, but I'm gonna have to go look, because I didn't even realize that wasn't actually a pin trading pin. That's bizarre. I'm used to seeing the ones like from Box Lunch that are like from, was it Her Universe or something like that, or Funko, those not being pin trading. But I'm surprised to get one from Shop Disney that's not a pin trading pin. Anyways, this part is where we go over what got me through this week. And this week I'm gonna go with Cyberpunk 2077. Yes, another video game that everybody likes to rag on. And I'm gonna say when it first came out, pretty justifiably so. I personally, on my first series Xbox One, had no problem actually playing it, although it was a little ugly and there were some weird things going on, but I did play just fine, perfectly playable. I did however take a break from it for quite a while. I recently downloaded the humongous patch, bigger than the original install size, and started playing it again, picked up where I left off, and you know what, I'm enjoying it more now. It's feeling a little bit of that, I want to just wander around and shoot things kind of a desire that I sometimes have, that I play things like Fallout 76 for. So far I really haven't been playing much of the story, I've just been doing all the little side missions because there are a billion of them. And I've enjoyed really finding all the little Easter eggs around, a list of characters that are clearly based on the characters from Cowboy Bebop, the final resting place of Roy Batty from Blade Runner, a car that is very clearly GLaDOS from the Portal games. A version of the General Lee that doesn't have a very objectionable flag on the top of it. And just, the ability to wander around and shoot bad guys, and I've really been enjoying. My character specializes a lot in the quick hacking, and I've got to the point where I can take out 5 or 6 people without them seeing me from a distance with non-lethal quick hacks, and I'm really quite enjoying it. The game does kind of crash if you play it for more than 2 or 3 hours, and I have the same issue with the game Control, but Control actually gave me an error message saying that it was out of video memory. And I'm guessing it's something similar that's going on with Cyberpunk. It may just be it's a little much for that original Xbox One to handle, but you still can't buy an Xbox Series X, so it's gonna have to do for the foreseeable future. But if you bought it when it first came out and you really haven't played it since then because you were disappointed, and I'm not gonna say you aren't justified in that, it is playable now. The patches have fixed, I think, a lot of the issues I was having. Graphically, does it look like the stuff that they were promising in all the previews? Well, no, of course not. Those were clearly being played on a very high-end PC, not an Xbox One or a PS4. But it's perfectly playable, it's solid. I only really experience any slowdown if I'm taking a turn too fast. Then the game will pause for a couple of seconds, I guess, while it loads up what's to my left or right as I'm turning. But it's enjoyable, that's what I've been playing recently, and that is what's gotten me through this week. And with that, we will finish this video off. I hope you found it at all interesting or entertaining. If you did, give the video a like and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And I will see you in the next video. I'm really am surprised this is not pin trading. It's just a round back. That's so weird. So weird.